And good morning, everyone, and welcome to another review here at the BC WrestlePod Network. And welcome back to the final installment of the triple threat of reviews for this morning. I am your host for this review, Mikey, also known as El Jefe around the BC WrestlePod parts. And I am happy to represent the Ultraviolet Union as I bring you my review for GCW Josh Barnett's Bloodsport London. It has been a crazy morning already for Effie's Big Gay Brunch review and the Progress Camden Lockup review I did a little bit earlier. And so now I am here to give my final review for the morning for GCW, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport London. I've already went through the announcements, so I'm not going to go through them again here for this review because I want to just get straight into the action. But you can follow us on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. Follow us on the social media. We have merch of all our review teams and as well as merch for our specialty collections. Link in the description of this video below and in the chat box as well. So, and we also have our little coffee bot who will be making an appearance ever so often. So if you feel obliged to do so, then you may donate that way. But I just want to get into Josh Barnett's Bloodsport London because this is the final event that kind of wrapped up the weekend of the UK last week. But now we're finally getting a chance to review this. And you know what? I had a good time with it. I'm going to do something a little bit different because it is just me for the Bloodsport London review. I am just going to go over the matches a little bit, but I'm also going to give a little bit of information about Bloodsport as well as each of the fighters when we get to the respective matches because it's a little bit different than what we're used to in the professional wrestling world. So to begin, Bloodsport for the uninitiated is GCW's no ropes, no pins, KO or submission only fight night. So the best way, if you are new to Bloodsport, is think of it as professional wrestling meets MMA inside a bare bones, grimy venue. And this time it all went down in the Electric Ballroom here in London, England. So, of course, whether you're new to Bloodsport or if you're a longtime fan like myself, or I'm kind of in the middle, which is very interested. What I plan to do for this is I'm going to walk you through every single fight, with some added info on who's who, because this card definitely was full of UK standouts, shoot style purists, and even former Olympians. So, with that out of the way, let's just jump straight into what we got. I'm going to be sticking to the matches. I know there was a promo in the middle of the show, but I just want to stick to the matches itself. My thoughts on the promo, it was fine. I feel like it went a little too long, especially the show was about an hour and a half. So that promo went on a lot longer than I think it should have, but I digress. So we kicked things off Bloodsport London with our first match, which was Kev Lloyd versus Hedy Caro. I'm going to be honest, I apologize in advance if I butcher some names. I always try to do my best to pronounce them properly, but I ask for forgiveness for the mispronunciation. But yeah, Kev Lloyd versus Hedy Caro. This is the match that opened up Bloodsport London, and this was a grappling heavy tone setter for the evening. Kev Lloyd is a British submission specialist. He's trained in catch wrestling and is heavily influenced by the likes of Billy Robinson. If you follow the UK indies, especially from the likes of Catch Pro Wrestling, you definitely know Kev's name. And then Hedy Caro is a French Armenian journeyman. He has trained in Mexico. He has worked in Japan. And he brings a unique world travel shoot style with a base in judo. And it definitely showed in this match. I think that this match was all mat work. And there was a lot of pressure passing, if you will, between both individuals. Caro did try to use his balance and awkward rhythm, but Kev was able to kind of be more surgical about his approach. He found the arm and he made it look clean. I think this was a solid, smart opener, especially for the fans who love that technical side of Bloodsport, especially when, the UK shoot style scene. So Kev Lloyd would defeat Hedy Caro in this match, and I thought this was a fun, solid opener. Match 2 saw Lou Nixon versus Chris Bungard. This one felt like a bar fight disguised as a Bloodsport bout. So again, for those of you who want to know more about our wrestlers, Lou Nixon is a rising UK striker. He is known for his hybrid kickboxing and street brawling style. And when you kind of look at his style specifically in this match, he's not necessarily flashy, but he hits like a sledgehammer. Lou has been in a couple of other GCW Bloodsport shows, as well as some GCW actual shows, like their main shows, not necessarily Bloodsport. And he's been a lot of fun to watch. Now, on the other side of the ring in this match, Chris Bungard, he is a legit pro MMA fighter out of Scotland with a background in Bellator. He's fought real wars in the cages and brings that realness into every pro wrestling setting. Bungard definitely started smart here in this match, keeping it tight posture, but ultimately Lou Nixon overwhelmed him with pressure and aggression, in my opinion. And that big strike opened up for Lou, and the finish came quick afterwards. Lou Nixon defeated Chris Bungard. I am new. I'm new to Chris Bungard. I'm newer to Lou Nixon because I've seen him a couple times before. But if you're new to either guy, I think this match definitely helped the newer fans remember their names. This brought all the smoke, and I actually really, really enjoyed this one. Next up, this is where we caught a catch wrestling showcase where we have John Hathaway versus Taylor McCann. And honestly, this to me was a catch wrestling showcase, which featured these two. One of the most pure stylistic matches of the night for sure. John Hathaway is a former UFC welterweight. He's known for his undefeated run in the UK before a long layoff due to health issues stopped him from keeping up that momentum. And his return to combat sports via Bloodsport has kind of low-key been inspiring despite all that. On the other side, Taylor McCann is a catch and freestyle wrestling crossover talent. He's lesser known internationally, but he is well respected in the UK circle. So as far as this match goes, the bout was very slow. It was methodical. It was super technical. There's lots of reversals, lots of wrist traps, slow grinding pressure. And Hathaway just smothered McCann, and eventually he sealed the win for himself. John Hathaway would defeat Taylor McCann. This match for me was really good. This is not for the spot fans, but for folks who love good old school grappling, this was gold, and I highly recommend this bout if you want to see old school grappling goodness. In our fourth matchup, we have RP Davies versus James Farrell, which definitely was the powerhouse fight of the evening. RP Davies is a former professional boxer who turned pro wrestler. He has a stocky, thick frame, and he throws with heat. And on the other side, James Farrell is newer on the scene. He's a UK prospect with a Muay Thai background and a look that says, "Don't sleep on me." I think Farrell showed some fire in this match, even got a few nice knees in, but Davies just bulldozed through with boxing combos and heavy clinch throws. And you know what? The stoppage felt right for this one. Davies is a name to keep watching in GCW if you want more UK presence. He looks like he's made for Bloodsport. So again, RP Davies defeats James Farrell in a quick bout. Now, this next match is probably my favorite technical banger of the night. We have Chris Ridgway versus Mark True. Ridgway is the guy, in my personal opinion, when it comes to shoot style wrestling in the UK. He's wrestled for Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan. He's known for his sadistic kicks and his tight submissions. Mark True is another hybrid fighter, if you will. And he's a hybrid fighter who mixes his Brazilian jiu-jitsu background with old school British grappling. He's not as known, but he definitely held his own here. But let's be real. Ridgway beat him down. No other way to put it. Body kicks, stiff strikes, and a slick arm trap triangle that ended it. This is pure blood sport. Ridgway should be a mainstay at these events, period. And I'm excited to see more of him when he comes through. In your semi-main event, if you will, we get our media attention match because this is Anthony Ogogo versus Brett Semtex. And this was definitely a war. Ogogo is an Olympic bronze medalist boxer, and he is a current AEW talent. He's been transitioning into more grounded, real fight presentation, and honestly, this was probably his best showing yet. Brett Semtex is not just a nickname, he's Paul Daly's brother, and like Paul, he's a nasty striker with pro MMA credentials. Both of these men traded blows, and Ogogo landed some vicious body work in this one. Semtex nearly caught him once, but Ogogo recovered, dropped him, and ground and pounded him until the ref stoppage. This was a highlight fight. If you're tuning in just for one bout, this one delivered on spectacle and legitimacy, in my opinion. Then we get into the main event of Bloodsport London. This was everything I hoped it to be. Josh Barnett versus Ollie Thompson. Two men who don't just play fighters, they are fighters. Barnett is a former UFC heavyweight champion, a pioneer of catch wrestling, and he literally is the heart of Bloodsport itself. Ollie Thompson, on the other hand, is a former UK strongest man with pro MMA experience in Bellator and UFC. He's a legit threat in any shoot setting. This was slow, this was brutal, but it was very respectful between these two. Barnett and Thompson circled, they clashed, they clinched. Barnett, ever the tactician, kept controlling the tie-ups and dragging Thompson down. In the end, Barnett wore him down and forced a stoppage. Dominant, but no disrespect, a master at work. For me, this was the perfect capstone for Bloodsport's UK debut. And you know what? I had a good time with this. Overall, to me, this show felt very special. The UK talent stood tall. The crowd respected the format. And the card moved very fast, as most Bloodsports do, with no fluff. The highlights for me include Ridgeway versus True, which I thought was a peak shoot style wrestling. Ogogo versus Semtex showed a little bit of that more real violence, if you will. And on top of that, Barnett versus Thompson, I think, was a masterclass of control. The production was tight. The pacing never lagged, minus the promo in the middle of the show, which kind of didn't need to be there. But the fights definitely delivered variety, from judo to brawls to catch classics. And personally, I'm going to give Josh Barnett's Bloodsport London a B+. I think it had the right blend of, in-ring action from the in-ring storytelling, the legitimacy and the hard-hitting action. And if GCW keeps expanding internationally like this, Bloodsport could become a global proving ground for fighters and wrestlers alike, in my opinion. But that's a wrap for me. I would like to know in the comments below, which fight stood out to you? Who do you want to see in the next Bloodsport? And honestly, should Ridgeway get a featured slot in the US events? Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow. And if you dig pro wrestling that feels like a real fight, Bloodsport is definitely for you. That's going to be it for me this morning. I'd like to thank you for tuning into my quick review of Josh Barnett's Bloodsport London. And you know what? We got a lot of other things to finish out the weekend. Later tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific, Adolfo and I will be here to watch MLW's Slaughterhouse. And then tomorrow we finish off the week with our WWE review, where we will be reviewing Raw and SmackDown and making our predictions for WWE's next PLE, which is Crown Jewel Perth. So that is going to be it for me. I have been Mikey, and until next time, stay sharp, stay safe, and of course, respect the mat. We will see you later tonight for MLW Slaughterhouse. But until then, sayonara, adios, and see you next time. Peace. I've been